Assalamu alaikum everyone, and very good morning. This is Dr. Mahnoor Abbasi, resident in internal medicine from Shifa International Hospital, and I'm here to present a paper. This topic and why we chose to explore more into this trial. So basically, it was of an utmost importance for the bronchoscopists, for the proceduralists, for the pulmonologists to decide whether to choose conscious sedation or monitored anesthesia care while doing the bronchoscopy, flexible bronchoscopy in patients. There has been a far prevailing and far pervasive confusion among the clinicians of whether to choose bronchoscopy under conscious sedation or monitored anesthesia care. Moreover, it was specifically aimed because it would help the patients to make informed consent so that they can choose a procedure that is more comfortable to them and in a complete consensual form. Second, it was also seen that there was not previously enough data where patient's comfort was studied as a primary outcome in bronchoscopy. It has been studied either as a secondary outcome or it has been studied in gastroscopy and endoscopies but never under for bronchoscopy. Moreover, there were no previously relevant papers studied in this kind of trial that has never been studied in Pakistani population. So it was like we take a privilege. There was we conducted this trial in one of the finest institutions of Pakistan. Now, what are the aims and objectives of the study? As previously said, the primary outcome was patients' comfort during bronchoscopy, and the secondary outcomes were to analyze the recovery time, the complications, and the sedation level during both the procedures. Methodology and subject. So this was a prospective observational controlled trial, and it was covered over a span of 1 year from October 2022 to August 2023. It was done with due ethical considerations and consent, and initially 145 patients were taken into account, but for the final trial, after applying the exclusion criteria, 83 patients were selected for the trial. The exclusion criteria included patients with psychological disturbances, patients with hemodynamic instability, with severe cardiovascular diseases, with pulmonary diseases, with hypersensitivity issues, with anesthesia sensitivity issues, or the patients who failed to cooperate during the study. This study was conducted in the endoscopy department of Shifa International Hospital in the bronchoscopy suite. Now, the patients were randomly distributed between conscious sedation and monitored anesthesia care. 40 patients among 83 underwent conscious sedation. Conscious sedation means it's a form of sedation where it is given directly by the bronchoscopist or the proceduralist himself, and there is no anesthetist required there. It is a lesser form of sedation as compared to monitored anesthesia care. Fentanyl, Nalban, and midazolam are usually used by the bronchoscopist directly, and 43 subjects were given monitored anesthesia care. These were given directly by the anesthetist. They included opioids, propofol, or midazolam, and they were given under strict surveillance because they can cause cardiovascular instability. Data collection and techniques. Data was collected through questionnaires and performers. Basically 3 types of questionnaires and performers were circulated. Likert scale of tolerability from 0 to 10. The tolerability of the procedure was assessed by the patients within 48 hours, and it was then documented in the form of Likert scale. That helped us gauge the comfort level of the procedure. Secondly, modified observed assessment of alertness and sedation was also another performer or another questionnaire that was filled directly by the staff nurse, by the anesthetist, or the person who was immediately present with the patient while he was on the bedside undergoing bronchoscopy to assess the sedation level of the patient during the procedure. And then the final emotional screening was also done through post-procedural emotional state assessment forms that were filled by the patient. These were basically filled passively by the staff nurse or by the proceduralist or by the staff nurse catering the patients in the recovery rooms. So they were not, patients were still sedated, but they were given they were taken in a passive form. Statistical analysis. Quantitative variables are presented as the means, which standard deviation with differences between the treatment groups and 95% confidence intervals. Qualitative variables were compared using the t-test, linear by linear, chi-square test, or picture exact test as appropriate, with all the tests conducted in a two-sided manner. The statistical significance was set up as p-value of less than 0.05. Assessment of subject comfort were performed using match pair analysis and Pearson correlation coefficients. So these were the results that we got. As I previously told that the primary goal of the study was to assess the patient comfort level, whether the patient was more comfortable with the monitored anesthesia care during bronchoscopy or whether he was more comfortable with conscious sedation during bronchoscopy. So the mean comfort score was insignificant, the difference was insignificant between the two. We saw how the mean comfort score was 3.6 with standard deviation 0.89 in conscious sedation and 3.3 with a standard deviation of 0.54 and confidence level of 95% in monitored anesthesia care group, giving us a p-value of 0.218 that was insignificant as it was greater than 0.05. So hence there was no difference between the mean comfort score. Mean complication rate was also not, the difference between the complications was also not significant. The p-value stood at 0.914. 1.9 with a standard deviation of 0.3 was the mean complication rate in conscious sedation group, and 1.9 with a standard deviation of 0.29 in the MAP group. Then with the mean sedation level, when it was seen, mean sedation levels to modify observed assessment of alertness and sedation, it was also taken into account. It was seen how it was different. This was the only place where our p-value was significant. It was less than 0.008. That means the sedation level was more in monitored anesthesia care group as compared to conscious sedation group. As the mean sedation score in conscious sedation was 4.37 with standard deviation of 0.66 and 3.8 with the standard deviation of 0.98 monitored anesthesia care group. And this part has already been established in previous studies as well. So we have studied it as a secondary outcome. Fourthly, the duration of recovery was not significantly different because the p-value stood at 0.501, which was also greater than 0.05, and the average recovery time for both the procedures, conscious sedation and monitored anesthesia care, were between 50 to 70 minutes, and the average time was same. So the total subjects in the trial were 145. After exclusion criteria, there were 983. 40 among them went into conscious sedation, 43 among them underwent MAC, and these were the results that we obtained. So this is a graph that is showing the comfort level, which is our primary outcome for sure. We can see that there is somewhat tolerable is the green graph that is the highest among both groups. So it was seen how the procedure was somewhat tolerable in both the groups of patients. Then this is a graph for the recovery time. It was seen that the mean recovery time was 50 to 70 minutes. So 50 was the mean recovery time. There was no significant difference in the recovery time when the holistic analysis was done, taking the p-value into account. The complications, as it is very evident, there were very little complications in both the procedures. In our sample size of 83, 3 patients who underwent conscious sedation had complications, and 4 patients who underwent MAC had complications, but they were nearly equal. So there was no significant difference between the complications of the two procedures. Now here is another slide showing us the sedation level, which is definitely different. Monitored anesthesia care group shows deeper level of sedations in the patients as compared to conscious sedation group. And here is a p-value signifying that the sedation levels were different. So the survey was also assessed the post-procedural basically to augment our view of tolerability and comfort. We also assessed the post-procedural anxiety levels and emotional state of the patients by taking into account the negative emotion score and positive emotion scores. So 12 patients among the MAC and 10 patients among conscious sedation group gave us the report of negative emotions, and the result, and for positive emotion scores, 30 patients among monitored anesthesia care group and 29 patients among conscious sedation group showed us positive emotion scores. So the results also revealed no significant difference in emotional states of the patients in both types of procedures. Meanwhile, while getting the forms filled for the Likert scale, we also took into account comorbidities and smoking status and age and gender, and they had no significant effect on the outcome of the patients during the tour. So the conclusion goes as conscious sedation is as comfortable as monitored anesthesia care in the patients undergoing flexible bronchoscopy. Moreover, both show insignificant difference in the complications and have equal level of safety despite lesser sedation and conscious sedation, also lesser crew required during conscious sedation.
Thank you, Dr. Manur, for excellent presentation. Then we